the big three was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach at the time when they did a big three.
Yeah, which blows my mind. Like, whenever I've heard the big three discussion, I never hear Dragon Ball, which blows my mind.
I mean, Dragon Ball was way before that.
Right.
And you would have that as like a different big three.
When anime got cool, it was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach.
Yeah, well, I don't
If
know.
that makes, but no. Well, we have this conversation all the time.
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
like, it didn't used to be cool to watch anime.
Right.
But then it got cool to watch
Well,
anime.
people also argue, I've heard them argue that Dragon Ball's not an anime.
Oh, I know.
And that blows my mind.
No. Alrighty, we are back for episode 15. We're going to be doing From Power Levels to Life Lessons today.
We're already a month in this year.
Yeah, I know.
Over a
I
month
mean,
this
over
year.
a month, because we're technically in February now. So, I mean, it keeps reiterating the point that I've made several episodes that time just keeps flying the older that we get. So now we're already over a month into 2026.
That is true. And today we have some guests with us, just like we referenced last week.
We do. We said it was going to be a quad-style episode, the next couple episodes, as a matter of fact. So we do have Howie with us today. Say hi, Howie.
Hi, Howie.
Really?
He said what you told him.
He responds like a toddler. Like, I have to be very specific or he's going to say exactly what I'm telling him to say.
He can kind of read sometimes, though.
Wayne, please say hello to the podcast audience.
Hello, podcast audience.
Smartass. All right. Anyway, so yes, we've got 4 of us here today. Anime focus. We've had anime come up in several different episodes, and we said that it would inevitably be a full episode, so now we're here.
This is going to be a full episode. Side quest included.
Yep. So we've got From Power Levels to Life Lessons. That's going to be our story mode, so all things anime related. Our side quests today are going to be Now Loading, which are true like blind ranking of anime for each of us. And it's a true blind ranking because last time we tried blind ranking, I jacked it up as I do most of the little games that we do. But true blind ranking in Now Loading. And then actually we're going to have another segment called Next Gen that Howie and I are going to do that specifically focuses on the Dragon Ball pop-up tour that was this past weekend up in Chicago. So we were in Chicago on the 6th and the 7th. So we're going to have a segment specifically talking about how that event went. I think that about covers it. Anything else before we get going?
Not for our intro. I think we're pretty good. We can probably get rolling in our story mode.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our story mode From Power Levels to Life Lessons. All right, so it definitely makes sense, since we're talking anime, the first place to start has to be like our first exposure to anime. I think all of us had different anime, and we definitely had different times. So
I'd
go
say
ahead.
ours is probably the same because we probably watched our first one together. At some point, and then it changed whenever we started hanging out with Scott because like if he was with him, then Scott.
Well, I think the fact that this is an anime episode and Howie is the like honorary anime weeb waifu pillow friend.
Waifu pillow.
Yeah, you got a few of them, don't you?
I don't know.
not anymore. You got rid of him.
Well, I know you got the mouse pad though, but so how
That mouse pad.
Yeah, that mouse pad. I can't even remember what game.
You remember which
Collections
one we were
Edition.
talking about?
Yeah, mouse pad goes crazy.
Yeah, the movie mouse pad. Is it Catherine? Yeah. So Howie, go ahead and start us off. What was like your first exposure to anime?
I'm pretty sure it was Sailor Moon.
So Sailor Moon, like what, back on the Toonami block, I guess?
Yeah, I guess Toonami was back then. Or it might have been a little bit right before Toonami even started.
You know, so I was gonna say, was there anything like? Did anime really get shown here that before Toonami? I mean, I guess because like if you take Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was on. It wasn't on.
It was on
Toonami.
WB. It was on WB Kids. No, and that's the thing. I mean, Toonami is what really. That's the thing. I think timeline wise and anime wise, we're all probably pretty similar. But so Sailor Moon definitely was Toonami, and that was where it kind of got started. Now we'd have to look up the years to see what came out first in the U.S. and all of that, because I know I forget about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh all the time because they weren't on Toonami. But so okay, Sailor Moon, that's fair. That makes sense. Austin, Wayne, I mean, you all probably have different ones. So, but
No, I think
it might be the same.
Probably Pokemon, right?
No, I think first Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball.
On Toonami.
OG Dragon Ball?
Yeah. See, I remember watching Pokemon, but I was Pokemon before Dragon Ball, but I was young.
See, and that's the thing. I'd have to look up the years because for some reason my brain tells me that Pokemon came to the U.S. first.
Pokemon was like, what, 97?
Yeah,
98?
Yeah, we did that. Remember, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, as
but
far as-
I don't know. That was when the Pokemon games came.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know when
games.
Pokemon
I don't
anime
think
came.
the show came out for
Yeah, maybe
a
I'm
while
getting
after.
jacked up because I don't ever remember there being access to a sub
We were-
Pokemon like it was always done.
Yeah, we were definitely in elementary school still. Like I remember that.
Yeah, but I think Dragon Ball was first that I can remember.
like the OG Dragon.
Like-
Yeah.
See,
Where
for-
Goku was a little kid.
Right. See, for me, I had to go back to Dragon Ball because my first exposure was Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, and I got lucky because the person's house that I was at, his mom was cutting my hair, and not just my hair, but also my
Did you
my
have
mom's
hair
hair,
then?
my sister's hair. Man, I'm not bald. We're not talking about Rob, but my first time watching Dragon Ball, I got really lucky. And when I was getting my hair cut, I went upstairs and it had just started the Saiyan saga. Like it was the episode where Raditz, or where Gohan.
So
and-
literally, like basically.
that's exactly where I started it. So I couldn't have started at a better time. But I ended up having to go back to Dragon Ball years later. I watched Z first. That's which
yeah.
was in the same block that you're talking about. Because I mean, Sailor Moon I think was the first show in that block. I think. But
Yeah,
See,
it was kind of the first one that came on, but it was just when my parents would turn on a cartoon, it would be that first, and then everything else would roll through.
See-
Because like Pokemon, with like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon coming out, the games came out before the anime.
right, well,
That's what I was saying.
well,
I can't remember when the anime released over here.
Yeah,
It had to release like late, like
It was 90s.
late
Yeah,
90s, early
somebody
2000s.
who's not recording on their phone, look up when the Pokemon anime itself came out specifically. But I will say this, I am not surprised whatsoever that Howie's first exposure to anime and what had gotten him obsessed with it was Sailor Moon.
97.
Of all things. 97 is when Pokemon
Yep.
started?
Dragon Ball is
aired
89.
to
89.
96.
So
yeah,
I'm-
okay.
So wait, but that's why I remember Pokemon.
Now, are you looking in the States, though, specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in the
Like,
States.
that's why I remember Pokemon though, because
I think OG Dragon Ball did not show on Cartoon Network. I think it showed on something else, and because Toonami was like the resurgence of like anime,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, Toonami. It joined Toonami in 98.
Okay, so see,
well, that would make sense then
And guess
because
what?
I watched.
what year did he just say?
It's your year. You talk
It's my
about it all the
year,
time.
1998. So my friend, I think now you all may not have heard this. I told Austin a couple episodes ago. I got a friend of mine that sent me a message that said she's going to start a drinking game where every time she watches an episode of the podcast and I mention 98, she's going to take a drink. I said, well, you're going to be drunk quick, So, but no. So those Toonami blocks, like I seem to remember the first one was like was Sailor Moon, Reboot, Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball, Ronin Warriors.
I
like-
remember Gundam on it, and I remember Dragon Ball on it.
Yeah.
And then but I was so young, I don't remember. Because if you think about it, like we said, Pokemon came in 97 or 98, 98.
97 is what it said for the anime.
The anime was 98.
You got to think,
The
I was
game
only
came out
3 years
97.
old, so I remember watching it like
Without
first
any
grade,
comprehension.
kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember watching Dragon Ball until. I mean, you were probably going to get out of elementary school, so it's right into elementary school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
I-
probably.
I would have been, we're talking 98, so fourth or fifth grade. for
You're
me.
only 2 years older than him, so like
Yeah.
y'all got.
Yeah, I was fourth or fifth grade in 98 whenever I started watching.
Yeah, so
Dragon
I
Ball.
would because I wasn't even in school because I started. He was going to the 4th grade when I started kindergarten. So
Okay, yeah. But no, it really, Dragon Ball was like my go-to. But like when I immediately think of like my tops, like I have that nostalgia lens. Like I think of Gundam Wing, I think of Reboot, I think of Dragon Ball, Ronin Warriors and all that. But there were others that were on there too. I just don't, and I remember like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star. I
See,
just
now
don't
you're getting into like the Adult Swim part of Toonami.
see, and that's the thing. I got off of Toonami by the time they like flipped to Adult Swim.
well, remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about this, and I was talking about it because like I had a buddy that watched Bleach showed on Toonami on the Adult Swim part of Toonami on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So
See, and that's why I never watched Bleach.
yeah,
I've never watched Bleach.
I've been told multiple times Bleach is another one that's like fantastic.
Well, I know some people put it in like their big three all the time. I know Johnny Young Bosch did the voice. Whenever I think of Johnny Young Bosch, I think of Power Rangers, frankly. And now I think of Dante. But, I mean, I know Bleach, but Bleach wasn't part of the weekly blocks,
but
I don't
see,
think.
that's the thing. So you said big three.
It was
but
the
you gotta
Saturday
think,
blocks.
The big three was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach at the time when they did a big three.
Yeah, which blows my mind. Like, whenever I've heard the big three discussion, I never hear Dragon Ball, which blows my mind. I mean,
Dragon Ball was way before that.
Right.
And you would have that as like a different big three.
When anime got cool, it was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach.
yeah, well, I don't
If
know.
that makes, but no. Well, we have this conversation all the time.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like, it didn't used to be cool to watch anime,
Right.
but then it got cool to watch.
Well,
anime.
people also argue. I've heard them argue that Dragon Ball's not an anime,
Oh, I know.
and that blows my mind.
No.
Yeah, that argument doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's so deep rooted in pop culture, and we'll get to the whole concept of it not being cool and now being cool. But it was like, that's the thing. And when Austin and I had, I think it was episode 3 when we were talking Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. Like, he remembers Toonami being in the evenings or on the weekends, but like I remember it right after school. Like, I got home from school, the blocks were like 4 to 6. You know, so we had like 4 episodes or
Well, I
4
remember,
shows.
Remember, I made
I can't
that same
yeah,
episode
4.
I talked about. Like, we used to watch Pokemon every day. We come home from school,
Right.
We watch an episode of Pokemon. And
Yeah, because
then we would do
Pokemon
homework.
Pokemon was every day. It was on WB
Yeah,
Kids.
they would show 2 episodes every.
Right.
Yeah, it was Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was first, right? Or no, it came on after Pokemon.
I'm not sure.
but I remember watching it. I remember us doing it.
I don't know, because I stopped because when I was growing up, anime wasn't described that way, and it was just a cartoon. And
Right.
so, after when I got to a certain age, I stopped watching because it was just cartoons.
Right, and there's that society standard.
We talk
Yeah.
all the time.
And then as I got more, like, I would say high school or right after high school is when I started watching again. So,
yeah, because
Well,
I'd
yeah.
say whenever we used to play like in the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, that was we probably weren't. Y'all were still in elementary school, probably.
no,
right?
that was middle
No,
school
that was-
at
Was that
least.
middle school?
Yeah.
Like, I collected in elementary.
Yeah.
But
When did we
it
go
was
to-
playing in middle school?
So, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Pet Shop, and I was talking about like the different
Yeah.
places of Pet Shop and stuff
Oh,
like
I
that.
remember hearing it.
So, like when we went to that first one, whenever your grandma used to come pick us up all the time,
Uh-huh.
y'all weren't in high school yet. That was still middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Had
was
to
middle
be,
school.
right?
It was middle school.
Yeah.
Is that,
'Cause I feel like
is that Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh days?
Yes,
You're talking about?
the one that I was talking about where we would go to Pet Shop and
Yeah.
Because high school is when we started falling out of it.
Well, me and you,
And again,
Kept doing it.
society
Well-
is,
me and him kept playing a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's not like we just stopped because we didn't like it.
Yeah, well,
We just got into
when y'all
other
started
stuff.
working. Well, when y'all started working, we kind
Because
of.
When jobs started and stuff, it all went to the
had to
wayside.
start, had to start
that,
adulting.
but then the 360 and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like, we started going from tabletop to
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
I guess that's a good point too, though. Like
Because once
Like-
Call of Duty hit, we
when
Didn't
Call of
really
Duty
do
4
much
came
other
out,
than
yeah,
Call of
like,
Duty.
they kind of changed.
Well,
everything.
and we just had this conversation before we started recording about competitive gaming, and I don't want to go down a rabbit hole on it, but obviously you all have done significantly more on
A
the
lot.
competitive gaming side of things than my happy 2 and 22 ass. You know,
But overall, though, like, how do you say anime like changed and shaped how you are now? Like, it's
well, and I feel like mine is going to be such a vanilla staple, but 1998 was such a huge year for me. So many things happened, like good things, bad things, catastrophic things, traumatic things, whatever it was. Dragon Ball wound up being like a super constant for me. Like, it's funny. I hear people all the time lean on the fitness aspect, like something about anime and all the training and all that, like motivated them. My big ass ain't gonna do that. Like, no, it has not motivated me to work out or anything. But it was a constant in my life that I always had to fall back on.
Right.
And then, frankly, I think Dragon Ball's got some really, really good lessons, like about friendship and about family to a degree. I mean, you can argue Goku's a terrible dad, but hey, Piccolo's outstanding. You know,
I was going to say the family aspect. I probably
so. Well,
not
I will
go
say
with.
this, and I think so. Everyone knows my number one anime like of all time, and it is Naruto. Like, I've made that statement.
That's
multiple
your
times
Dragon
on
Ball,
here.
I know.
That's mine. But to be honest, like Pokemon is the one that like stuck with me the most. I mean, since I watched it, I remember watching that back in the day. I played the card game. I mean, that's where I've played every game since then. Like, that's where my love for Pokemon came from.
well, in anime, I think the thing, and it comes up in discussion pretty often, but anime was the first time cartoons in the U.S. were no longer like episodic. Like you had your Scooby Doo's. I know you love Scooby Doo. I don't know if you love Scooby Doo.
No, not as much as other people.
But like cartoons, each episode was its own unique episode. Anime was the first time that we saw continuous story progression, character development, like seeing
I'll agree
all
with
of that.
Yeah.
And I argue, like as far as things that Dragon Ball specifically impacted for me is like how I consume other media. Like Dragon Ball, I grew up with. I love it. I am attached to it. I'm attached to the characters, the lore. Weird comparison, but Fast and Furious came out around the same time, not 98, but like 2001. That is a series that has continued, and you get to see those characters. Don't give me that look.
Yeah,
Family.
but they're in space now.
It doesn't matter.
Like, what are we doing?
The comparison's right. It's just like anime. Shit that would not happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
I saw a video the other day that said the Fast and Furious is basically a shonen anime live action. And that is so true.
It is.
So,
it is.
It is. If Vin Diesel was on the Titanic, he would have saved it.
Well, and I just talked about the family elements of Dragon Ball, and we know what Dom has and Dom loves.
Family.
Family.
So,
Family.
that's the
I
thing.
will say I will never take life lessons from anime because being a kid, you don't really understand it. Growing up, I look back at everything I watched, Pokemon, Dragon Ball. I realized how all of those are.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Like you look at it, and I mean, but there's so many real world applications, and we could say that about any media. I mean, you think about Star Wars, you think about things in Disney movies. Like, there's a lot of things that I personally pull from media in like a day to day, and anime is a big part of it. I mean, there's some really like heavy things that happen in Dragon Ball. There's some heavy things in Naruto. There's some heavy things in Pokemon. You know, I can't think of, was it in the Pokemon movie when Ash turns like to stone?
Yeah,
Like,
the
she's all-
original. Yeah.
Man, that was so sad.
Well, I will say this.
Mewtwo
like,
Strikes Back or
Strikes
whatever.
Back, yeah.
Well, I think it gets to the point like you can get like Wayne will say this isn't the case, but like there's sometimes like you actually get like hey, I like that character, and if something happens to that character in the anime, like dude, it can happen.
I've cried to a few animes.
Oh yeah. Well,
you can get emotionally attached to an anime. Does that make sense?
yes.
Yeah, you can.
100%.
Like I'm gonna be honest, like, and it's not at this point if you haven't seen Naruto, that's all. But like Asuma dying.
I have not finished Naruto.
We just had this conversation. That's one of
He
the
was
reasons I
very
brought that
upset.
up. But Asuma dying, like that was because my favorite character is Shikamaru. Like that upset me.
No, and that's where I stopped. And I remember how heavy that was. And I mean, and this is going to sound like such a cliche, and it's probably going to make me sound like kind of a jerk, but Dragon Ball has always been there. Like Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, like they've always been there. It's been a constant, it's been a consistent thing in my life that I can fall back on from a comfort perspective.
Chase also doesn't like change and likes things to be.
Well, yeah, I'm very structured and very routine and very, I don't know. But yes, it's definitely something that will always be a part of my life. I remember growing up and being told, oh, it's a phase, he'll grow out of it. I'm sure we all heard that.
Oh, yeah.
At some
It's
capacity.
never just a phase.
It's never just a phase. You know, whether it was anime, whether it was video games, we all heard it. And, like, I remember making a joke that I was going to get a tattoo. And I think through this podcast, and you all know, my biggest obsessions are actually, what are my two biggest obsessions? If you had to think of, Howie, my two biggest obsessions, what would you say they are? One's a game and one's an anime.
Yeah, Dragon Ball and Metal Gear.
Dragon Ball Metal Gear. I told myself for years that I was going to get a tattoo on my calf that had Solid Snake and Goku, and on the other
fighting.
calf I'd have Liquid Snake and Vegeta. And everyone told me, said, oh, you'll grow out of it, don't make that decision. Now, obviously, I do not have tattoos on my calves because I feel like there's better things to spend money on. But those are still constants.
The one that I've always thought about is, speaking of Shikamaru, I saw it one time, and it was a lighter. It was Asuma's lighter, and it was open, and then it had Shikamaru on the lighter.
Yeah.
And then it had the flame going, and then there was smoke coming up of it, and the smoke went up into Asuma.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's
it's
really, really cool. Yeah, so, but I mean, what about you all? I mean, as far as how you feel that anime has like shaped you or impacted you or whatever the case may be. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything serious. Like, it could just be fun. But, you know, when you think about the real world applications of how you think about anime on a day-to-day basis.
I don't think. Let's see. I haven't got, I would say, life lessons or anything from it. Like, it's more just watching it because I enjoy it. And if anime, for majority of anime, they got a lot of filler. And so you can turn it
back then,
on.
for
Like,
sure.
if you want to play on your phone and watch something else, it can be on. and you're not going to miss much. And then when something starts happening that's serious, you can pay attention, put your phone down, whatever.
Set your phone down, lock in on the fight or whatever it may be. I do that a lot these days.
So it's more a time killer, I guess. And unless it's something new that I need to get into.
But now, like, we can just talk into it too. Like, we had a conversation the other day about, like, you watching One Piece.
Yeah, I'm on like 702.
But one of the things
I have never taken that dive. That's
like
so
the
much.
the thing about that One Piece is like, and Scott's brought this up too. Like he said, yeah, is him and his son will watch it, and that's what he's just enthralled by because all the colors.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 3-month-old that loves the colors, and he's happy. He can watch it, and,
there's a lot
and he enjoys it.
Yeah, whenever I first had Mav, that's something me and you talked about.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, throw anime on. And I was like, what? And he's like, put it on.
Start them young.
Because the colors, they'll just the entire time.
Yeah, my son very much, he won't watch anime. You all know this. He won't lock in and watch it, but there's several videos on. We've talked about the AMVs how many times?
Oh, yeah.
He will repeatedly watch. There's an AMV from the Tournament of Power, Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, yeah.
And they're playing Master of Puppets. He will watch it repeatedly. Rewind, fast forward, rewind, fast forward, rewind, fast forward. He did find a Down with the Sickness one once that was Dragon Ball that watched it. And it is the colors. And see, that's the thing. We've all got kids that were like passing down the interest of anime at some capacity in different ways. You know, mine's very much just around those AMVs. But I know, like, Brave sits and watches some of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, he'll sit there and watch stuff, but if I think it's got like too much in it,
well,
I've got him started on Powerpuff Girls. He really likes Powerpuff
So
Girls.
talking about having too much in it. So we were watching it. I was watching it the other day, and I turned on. He had me watching. Wayne, what's it called?
Sins to be a hero?
Sins to be a Hero. I got to
Sins to be a hero?
Sentenced.
Sentenced to be a hero.
We'll
Okay.
get into that
phenomenal.
because
That's a good one.
it's good. It needs a little bit more variety, but I think it's going to come. But so I was watching it. I turned it on. Mav's sitting there, and within the first like 2 minutes of the video, gore everywhere, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
let's watch this downstairs. Let's not watch this."
That's you know what, that's fair. I told someone about Demon Slayer because it was like all the rage and all the hype and all
Right.
of that.
Because it's amazing.
Oh yeah, it is. It's phenomenal, and a lot of kids like it. I didn't think anything about it. I forgot who it was who I told, and they texted me. They're like, "Yeah, this is probably a little graphic for." I was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that."
Well,
My
that's the
bad."
thing, too. If you pay attention, anime's evolved. Like, back,
significantly.
it wasn't like that when we first started watching it.
No, we got.
Yeah.
It was not blood and
You're not
gore
gonna
and
get
all
away
that other
with, like,
stuff.
Well, no,
Goblin
one of the
Slayer.
things that I think about for Dragon Ball is watching Dragon Ball Z in the afternoon block when Frieza stabs Krillin through his gut. I remember seeing that on Toonami. He stabbed him through his gut. He went down into the water on Namek, and then they went about their merry way. When I got the video uncut versions later, he does that. Blood comes gushing out, and then literally drips down Frieza's face, and he licks it.
That is the crazy part because like anime that we saw on Toonami, like it's TV edited anime,
Right.
When you watch like Crunchyroll now, it's not TV edit.
No,
anime.
no. But I
It's
can't
just
watch.
the
I
original
can't
anime.
watch Dragon Ball Z on Crunchyroll though.
No, but
But no,
I'm
you're
saying
right.
in general, like I said, I turned on Sins to Be a Hero. I watched like. I literally it was probably like 2 minutes whenever the Holy Knights got in that fight. And that first fight happened, and there was like people getting cut in half, and I was like, man, I probably shouldn't watch this. And then Becca goes, yeah, let's watch that downstairs.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think that's just an anime change. I think it's also like cable TV. I think
it's huge.
There's things on cable TV
now that should- Just we talked about the Game Awards, that one trailer.
Yes, the Divinity 2, Divinity 3.
5 or 6 years ago, that dude was literally getting burned at a tree.
I'm not even
Oh,
talking about that. There was a full-blown sex scene happening on the ground. I don't know if you saw that part. Maybe
No,
I
I
just
didn't
focused
see
on
that.
it, I guess. Okay,
All-
you saw
all
it too,
the
Howie.
sins, yeah.
Of course Howie saw it too, right? So
Yeah, but
I wasn't looking for it, but I seen it.
It found me.
yeah. But
I
no,
didn't put that video on, but I watched it.
No,
So-
it definitely, it is much different now than it used to be. And, you know, the other thing about anime back then, too, and it is still the same thing now, but back when we were growing up and anime was more niche, like, I remember being obsessed with Dragon Ball and wanting all of the toys. But like you couldn't find them at like Toys R Us and stuff. Like they weren't so mainstream that they were in stores. You had to find them at these like random places and stuff like that.
Well, it was also not cool to talk about it.
Exactly.
You didn't go to school talking about the animes that you watched.
Well, like I think whenever we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like talking about that, like when we were playing Yu-Gi-Oh, when we were just talking about when you were in middle school, I think like we never talked about it at school. Like you didn't talk about it there. You just
we played
on the weekend.
That's not true. My schools that I went to had like a lot of card players, so we would go to school and that would be like our recess. We would trade cards. Like that's how they rewarded us for doing our work.
Yeah, see, I remember with cards, with Pokemon cards, Dragon Ball cards, and all that. Like I would take them to school and trade, but I'd get made fun of and everything else. You would never really talk about anime, but I was a big fan of the shirts, and I've talked about them before, like those silk button-up Dragon Ball shirts, as I'm wearing a flashy Dragon Ball hoodie right now. But I would wear them to school and get made fun of. But those toys were really hard to find. Like, you couldn't go to Toys R Us. Where now, Dragon Ball toys, Gundam toys.
That's all over the place.
They're at Target, they're at
mine
Walmart.
wasn't. I don't remember the collecting toys, but like cards were the thing. Like we just said, like cards, we collected cards a lot. Which, like I said, Pokemon was a big staple for what I did in anime. That's what I collected.
But I see, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't remember being able to get Pokemon cards at... I mean, Toys R Us you could, but I don't remember there being a whole card section at Walmart.
You could get a Walmart. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and now I don't have none of my $1 Million Charizard cards anymore.
None of us do. We had a whole... I think it was...
Speak for yourself.
Well, that's true. Howie,
Howie don't get rid of things.
Yeah, we had the episode, Trading Cards and Terrible Regrets, and we didn't have Howie on for that episode, but he's the one with the whole basement full of
I
cards.
pulled out a binder and took it to the local
So do y'all
card
remember
shop,
back whenever we
and
did this
they were
last
like,
co-op episode, we talked about
$1,000.
Army of Two?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it, yesterday?
Day
Or
before.
a couple days ago?
This is a squirrel moment. What are we going with Army of Two?
I know where he's going with it. The picture
Scott
I
sent us a
sent.
picture of the guide of Army of Two 40th Day.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, again, Howie keeps everything. So, and speaking actually, I
That's
guess
right,
while
on
we
the
are
top,
talking...
too.
I guess while we are talking about games, too, though. Like, the first anime games that all of us played is Pokemon. Like, I think that is a fair...
That's an accurate statement.
accurate
now,
statement.
I remember the One Piece tournament game that we used to play.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
What was that on?
So what was?
GameCube.
But what we did was,
okay.
is we would set up a tournament.
Well, you jumped generations on where I was getting ready to go, but fair
Well,
enough.
it's just we played other anime
You
games,
brought it up.
but this game is the one like I really haven't played that many anime games. Like I played
Yeah.
the Dragon Ball games and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
Pokemon is the one that I've played a lot, obviously, because I've put
Oh my god, yeah.
hours into that. But like I remember distinctly like anime games in general. The One Piece game that we had, we would set up and you would have it to where like you would do a tournament and we'd all play in the tournament and see if we could.
Oh yeah. Well, and see that's the thing. Like I'd have to do the research to validate all this. I mean, the thing is, there are games that were not anime games, but in that art style. Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, pretty much any JRPG you could argue is based on an anime at some capacity. But the anime influence games like Pokemon was our first ones. I very much remember the next ones I played were on PS1. Was the Dragon Ball games, Ultimate Battle 22, GT Final Bout, The
I
Legend.
say that, but we played Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi.
Well,
Yeah, but they weren't on the original PlayStation.
that
first.
came out on PS2. But
Yeah.
on PS1, all those games that I just said, Ultimate Battle 22, GT Final Bout, and The Legend, the only way you could play them was with a device called a Goldfinger, and you had to open the PS1 tray and put a spring in it. So that was the only way to play Dragon Ball. And in '98, when I was obsessed with Dragon Ball, I wanted to play a game.
You've got old girl drunk already.
I know, she's super tipsy at this point. But I had to... The only way to play a Dragon Ball game on PS1 was with the Goldfinger. Now, yes, PS2 era, that's where we got Budokai 1 through 3, Tenkaichi 1 through 3. There was a couple
We
of
played
these
those.
Well,
games.
did you ever play the Game Boy Advance Dragon Ball Z's?
We'll get to handheld in a minute. We'll get there.
Oh, you brought Pokemon. So
No, was Pokemon on Game Boy Advance? I'm sorry. Was Dragon Ball on Game Boy? Let me back up. Was Dragon Ball on the original Game Boy? That's what, no.
Who hired this guy?
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there.
Dude,
We're gonna go there with Game Boy Advance.
But talking about Dragon Ball, what game was it that we played on the projector that we have that picture of? Where you were sitting
that
separately?
was definitely
It was Budokai.
no,
Was
it wasn't. It was
no,
on 360.
No,
it
because
had
it was
to-
on 360.
I think it was Raging Blast.
So
Where
I told
we got
Mom,
a picture of Howie standing
just a
next to
fun
a
fact.
Broly.
I had I was talking to my mom the other day, and I told her we had that, and she goes, "You do not have that picture." And I said, "Yeah, they sent it to me. They sent it to us in our group chat the other day."
It's somewhere in my
and
phone.
she goes, Austin, you were like 16 whenever we had that projector when y'all watched that. And I said,
Yeah, that
we
checks
have
out.
that picture. I told him one of y'all sent it to us.
Yeah, I have
And
it
she
on my
goes,
phone.
that projector hasn't been up in years.
Yeah.
And I said, I know.
No, it was a 360 game, so it either had to be burst limit but see, burst limit I think was like the Budokai, like side by
I could
side.
have swore they just redid the Budokai.
No, I'd
It was
have
like
to.
Tenkaichi or some crap.
Yeah,
I think they
I
did,
think so.
but I don't know if it's what that one was.
Because it was,
Yeah, 'cause-
you were behind them and it wasn't side to side.
Right. But that's why I think it was Raging Black. But it was one of them.
might
But
be.
on the PS2 era, you talked about the One Piece game on GameCube, but PS2 is also where I think the first Naruto games came out. Like
Is that
you had
Ninja
the-
Storm? No, that was
No, Ninja Storms were.
PS3, right?
That was PS3, 360. No, PS2 had the Uzumaki Chronicles. That was the
Uzumaki
RPG
Chronicles,
one.
yeah.
There was a
no.
fighting game.
Uzumaki Chronicles was on
There was
360.
one for the Wii.
because it was Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles and Naruto Broken Bond.
Yeah.
They were
But
360.
they were 360.
I'm pretty sure Uzumaki Chronicles, if it was on 360, then they rebooted it. I'm pretty sure that was the one. I can see the case in my head. I'm pretty sure it was on PS2.
I've got it on 360.
I'm sure
It's
you
wild
do.
and
You
hard.
have everything. Because you don't get rid of anything, which is great.
I don't have to get rid of it.
No, that's
Oh, there
great.
was one, but it's not the same one.
Yeah. So it must be different titles.
I
But
just probably never played that one.
but I would say that that's probably about the time. I wouldn't
No,
say
Scott,
when,
you had this game.
I would say anime didn't become
remember
mainstream
seeing this game.
yet. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like an RPG one. But there was also a
remember
fighting
being
game
an
Naruto on PS2. But it still wasn't cool in the PS2 era, like by any means. But I think it was starting to get more mainstream because of all those games we got. We
I
got
don't
several
think
Naruto
I don't think
games.
anime got cool until about 5 years ago.
No, I think it's a little
I think-
longer, but it's definitely recent.
COVID is what I think.
Yeah,
sparked it.
COVID is when everybody got into it.
No, I agree, but I feel that it was already moving there before COVID.
I won't disagree with that, but COVID is when it really.
Well,
really
and you all aren't going to like my take on this, and it's because you all are big sports people. But sports in general have always been popular by everybody.
Oh, you're going to say. Okay.
No, because honestly, I attribute a lot of athletes with anime becoming mainstream. Like before COVID, I was seeing.
who is it? The Miles Garrett?
Miles, the big one is the dude that was at the Lions.
Oh, what's his name?
Jamal something.
No, that's his boy.
I don't know. They did the introduction, and he said that he was the hidden leaf Kazakage
Yeah.
or something.
It's
That's Jamal something.
no, yeah, he was at the Lions, but he went to the Saints.
Yeah, he
What's
was only
his-
there for a year.
Yeah, but what's the running back's name?
I don't know.
It's Jamal something.
Williams, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because
But no, even before that though, like there were NBA players that, like I remember there was this one player that had some Vegeta shoes, and everyone was going nuts. And that's the thing. I attribute it becoming, yes, COVID played a role, but athletes.
I won't disagree with that. That is true, but I think that was putting it trending in the right way.
Yes.
But COVID is what
COVID spiked it.
Yeah.
Like it was going up, and then COVID it skyrocketed.
Well,
There was
because
the UFC guy that always did hand signs before he went.
That is
Right.
no. So his name is
I don't know his
the
name.
Last Stylebender. That's his.
Is
Yeah.
that his name?
That's his nickname.
That's
Yeah.
his nickname.
But again, these are because as much as I hate sports, sports is mainstream. You were not made fun of in school for liking sports. You were made fun of for not liking sports. So the fact that anime that people got, we got made fun of and stuff as kids, became so mainstream now to where if you don't like anime, it's not cool.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I think athletes
So-
started it.
But there's
Now-
a lot of things like that. Like if you think about it, video games were a problem
Oh my
15
gosh.
years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was always ban the video games.
Yeah.
And, yes, every time
And-
there was a school shooting, it was
Well,
like
now
ban the
there's
video
literally,
games,
like-
every couple hours.
And now they're as
your kids-
popular
So like
as everything.
for instance, we talk. I know on this podcast we've talked about Peanut a lot.
we love Peanut.
We love
yes.
Peanut. He played with Jamar Chase. For listeners that don't know who that is, that's one of the top receivers in the NFL.
Oh yeah, he's a guy on the Bengals. That
Yeah.
was really funny.
Him, Gingy, and Peanut were playing together because Gingy plays with him often.
yeah, but Peanut had no clue who he was.
Yeah, Peanut had no idea who Jamar Chase was.
And
he said
honestly-
he asked him who his team was.
No, dude. Frankly, if I had not started watching the NFL in the last 5-6 years, I would have no idea who Jamar Chase is because I didn't keep up with anything football.
Yeah.
Now I did, but I mean, I thought that was hysterical. But that unique blend between fandoms, whether we're talking anime or games or whatever, the stuff that we got made fun of for as kids, and sports, which was always okay in society, I think is really
Which really just, it's at a time where everything was divided, and now it's coming together and meshing together, and they're finding ways to like both. sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
And that's really what's done this is they've married each other. Sports and anime and everything else
Well, now you got a
are
bunch of
blending
sports
together.
animes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's become super mainstream.
Well,
and
apparently they're really good too. Like, there's a
they're
couple.
great.
The volleyball one, I don't remember the name of it, but it's super popular.
Did you ever play Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball on the Xbox?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I just
You
wanna
think
let you
Scott
know,
didn't play that?
You
Kidding
do.
me? You made fun of me when I bought it.
No, you know what's funny is I told that story about Leisure Suit Larry in an episode about Blockbuster, but I also rented Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
I
never
remember
forget.
that game.
I'll never forget. Like we had a rule, like I could never lock my door at the house. You know, my door could be shut, but it couldn't be locked. Man, I remember playing that game and looking at my door, you know, like repeatedly because here
First
I
game
am.
that I think ever had a jiggle physics slider.
Did it really?
Yes, Scott showed it
I
to us
bet
as soon
Howie
as we
turned it
got there.
all the way up.
Like if you turned it all the way up, you didn't even have to move them. It just started moving like an earthquake.
Yeah. Well, squirrel, and that was my fault. I brought that up. But no, the thing that bothers me, a lot of media and stuff these days have this very negative perception on like all things. And I've seen so many takes of people upset that we got made fun of and bullied as kids, and kids now don't have it that hard, da-da-da-da. For me, I think it's outstanding. Like, I don't think that kids have to be bullied to
Like
thrive
that.
in life, you know?
Yeah.
The fact that they're able to do what they want to do and like what they like without being punished for it, especially with how easily accessible bullying is to kids now, I love it. I think it's outstanding because it allows kids to, you know, do their own thing and not have to worry about being picked on and, you know, all that. But the people who get, like, judging, man, I had to be bullied for this. Da-da-da-da. It's I don't like those kind of takes. And I see it way too often.
But just to go, like, going back to video games, I know us three have played it. Did you ever play Shinobi Striker?
So the Naruto games I have played, but I never, because I didn't grow up with it like you all did.
Well, this is next gen. Like,
Yeah.
technically.
No, but
Where
I
you
still,
create your own.
Yeah, it was like a Xenoverse thing where you create your
Well,
own.
but this one
Well,
was.
you create a team with your friends and go against somebody else's team with all their friends.
So it
It's a
was
competitive
competitive.
Naruto game.
Yeah, like, come on, dude. Look who you're talking
So
to.
That's
no,
why I figured I'd
I
ask you.
probably
So,
have not played
He
that.
when
would be
game
the
came
healer
out-
that stood around and just made sure
dude.
nobody else died.
you would have laughed.
That
at
game,
this.
we
Me and
played
Wayne-
that game. Remember, because that's whenever I was having.
They're
like,
still pushing updates for that game.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
game is still getting updated. But when that game first came out, we bought it. What did we originally buy it on? We bought it on something and then had to buy it.
It
again.
was
the
Xbox
console.
It was Xbox. What was it, Xbox One?
I think so.
Then, yeah, because we bought it on we bought it on Xbox and then ended up
Yeah.
buying it again on PC.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I have played some of the Naruto games. Like that's the thing that I do love now. There's just so many. Like every major anime has a game. I mean, Naruto has a boatload. Dragon Ball has a boatload that I love all of. But the Attack on Titan game, amazing.
It's
Demon
got two
Slayer,
of 'em.
Amazing.
Yeah,
One
Demon
Piece,
Slayer's got 2 games now.
Yeah.
What was the MHA just came out with another one? My Hero came out with that. It's another fighter, right?
Just last week, All's Justice.
It's like Shinobi Striker.
Yeah, well, no, it's a single player. It may have a multiplayer element,
It's
but
got
it's
a multiplayer element, but I mean, it's what you have your character. It's got its fighting abilities. You go around get buffs, and I mean, you're just fighting with each hero. And
But
it's
I remember
last man
playing
standing.
like when we played Shinobi Striker when that game first came out, we played that game.
That game.
Chase,
you
I kid
created
you
your
not,
own
that
ninja.
was a game that
You created your own ninja. Me and
Picked where
Austin,
you were from.
We would go and distract the team,
yeah.
and they had one instant KO ability that was Planetary Devastation. We would have him charge it up and just keep casting it. And then,
because so before the first update came out, that particular move,
The competitive nature tells me I definitely didn't play
that
this.
particular move wiped the team. Like there was no getting around it. You
I would
couldn't
be
get
very
away from
upset
it.
if I was playing that game.
Wayne got it. I don't even remember because we were playing with Jarb too. Because Jarb was playing me and
Yeah,
Jarb played,
yeah,
or I played healer, Jarb played defense, and you two played. You played physical, and he played range.
yeah.
And I don't know. Every time we played this game, Wayne somehow ended up like he was. As soon as he got it, we knew the game was over. Like we knew it was over because we would basically have it to where like we could get them all wrapped up, and then Wayne would cast Planetary Devastation and just kill everybody.
There's a lot of jutsus that would like plant them. And
Right.
They couldn't run away.
Yeah,
Well,
like
See, and the other thing about those anime games, though, is I remember, like, Dragon Ball and Naruto were the only ones that were dubbed. Everything else would come out and would be a subbed game. But
Yeah,
now,
for the most part, yeah.
I think every One Piece game has been dubbed. I think all the My Hero games are dubbed. I think, now, Sword Art Online is still subbed. I don't
You
know.
can download DLCs.
Do they have
to make
patches
them.
for...
what?
But, like, Attack on Titan, I love that game. I have put probably 300 hours across every platform,
Not done.
but it's still subbed. But I love it so much. So.
What is the One Piece game that was an RPG? There was a One Piece
Lost-
RPG game,
Like Lost Odyssey?
There's
or was
a
it Red
couple
Dawn?
of them, but-
Red something?
Yeah,
I
but
think it was Red Dawn.
There's a few of them because they're like Dynasty Warriors
Oh, see,
in a sense.
now I love me some. And actually, in talking Dynasty Wars, did you all play? Well, I don't know if you all did, but did you play Dynasty Wars Gundam?
Yeah.
Man, I love Dynasty Wars Gundam.
I definitely didn't play. I didn't like Dynasty Warriors.
I've never played it in my
Well,
life.
the thing is,
Never.
had
I've
one,
never even
I
looked
had
at it.
one, but it's
Being
not-
completely honest,
do you know why I love Dynasty Warriors?
What?
Because
'Cause it's easy?
I can go into a battle. There's about 2,000 enemies, and all I got to do is hit one button, and I kill them all. It's not difficult. It's not hard. It's just a hack and slash. It's
Dude,
super
do you
easy
know?
and
I was
enjoyable.
thinking about this game the other day. You know, we talk about Pokemon in like anime games. I probably am. I might be the only one that's played this game. Did you ever play Pokemon Conquest?
Pokemon Conquest. I don't know that.
It was the Fire Emblem
Sounds
Pokemon game.
familiar.
I don't,
it was a Fire
what-
Emblem-
What was that on?
DS. It was a Fire Emblem-esque Pokemon game.
Oh, well, you know why you brought up DS, and because Howie reamed me on this earlier. So, yeah, the handheld anime games, like Dragon Ball, Legacy of Goku, Legacy of
the
Goku
Boost
2,
Boost Fury. Boost Fury was fantastic.
Somebody commented on TikTok the other day that literally described Kakarot, the new RPG, perfectly. It says Kakarot is basically a next-gen 3D Legacy of Goku. And that's exactly what it is. And I never thought of it that way. But the Legacy of Goku games were unreal. I just re-downloaded them on my Steam Deck because I wanted to play them again.
see, I've never played none of those.
Oh, they're so
because
good.
when I was growing up, I had Pokemon. I didn't need nothing else. Like that's the only game I played for
Now-
years.
I sought out anime games though.
Well, and I
But see,
believe
what,
that.
But
if we're
again,
talking
I didn't
handhelds,
watch
if we're talking
anime like
handhelds,
that.
like Pokemon is the one.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, let's go ahead and get into like for the story. Last kind of little bit of story mode. Now, like anime now, dude. There's so many animes that I've seen now. Like we're just talking about like we've talked a lot about
mainstream.
Well, we talked about it going mainstream. We talked about a lot of older animes.
Yeah.
Like today, and like now we'll talk about today's animes. Like Sentence to Be a Hero. That show is fantastic. It was.
I hadn't even heard of
really
it.
good.
it's only got like 4 episodes.
I guess
And that was one of the first
It's
episodes.
brand new.
I guess it's on Crunchyroll. Is it dubbed
Yeah.
or subbed?
Dubbed.
Both.
Oh, okay.
They have both.
It is both.
That's
okay.
the best part coming from somebody who had to go to websites to look for anime.
Or the LimeWire
Now you
downloads
got-
and
now you
Kazaa
got
downloads.
Stuff like Crunchyroll, High Dive.
Well, and they have the simuldub now to where everything's coming out
Yeah.
Pretty
like,
quick. I
same
mean,
day.
sometimes you got to wait 3 weeks. That's the thing. The kids now, and I hate to be the boomer sounding person.
no, I'll agree with
the
this, even though
kids-
it sounds boomer.
Yeah, the kids now, like with Dragon Ball, we've talked about it repeatedly. Back in the day, you'd watch through I remember getting to the end of the Frieza saga. You saw next time on Dragon Ball Z, it was the Mysterious Youth with Trunks.
Yeah.
And then it started all the way back at the Ginyu saga, and then we had to get
Yeah.
through Garlic Jr. But now, yeah, simuldub. Like you said, any of these big anime now, you might get same
So-
day or 3 weeks later, if that.
Well, so like there's so many animes right now that are good, like Solo Leveling.
I know that's your top right now.
I mean, it'll be very hard for anything to unearth Naruto
that one.
as my number one. Like it really will. Like
It is
Naruto
really
is
good.
is my show.
Yeah, right. Attack on Titan's got to be the best anime I've ever seen in my life.
I will never. I don't think I can.
There's
ever,
a lot of people. That is a take that a lot of people have.
Attack on Titan has got to be the best anime I've
and
ever watched.
AOT is good. I'm not going to deny that, but it's to me.
AOT hits all the buttons that people like: espionage, governmental stuff, anime fighting.
Nothing will ever top DBZ for me specifically.
That's what I'm saying though. Like
Yes.
everybody has that one,
But
like,
but second is Attack on Titan, like 100.
like, and I don't know if you still. Our buddy Berm, that was really the first one that I remember. Like I remember talking to him about it, and that's one that he like got into, and he loved it.
Yeah, that
That's
was his
favorite.
first anime he ever watched.
And
was
now,
Attack on Titan.
you can ask Wayne.
So he's already started
wild
up
one.
here.
That's
Like
a
he's
wild
already
one.
started
well,
at the top.
but now I will say this, and Wayne can attest to it. That dude watches a lot of anime now.
I am
Like,
trying really hard. I don't think my mom will watch it, but I'm trying to get my sister, who does not watch anime, I'm trying to get her and her family to watch Attack on Titan. Which actually, while we're on this, now
Our
our
sister to watch Umamase.
no,
She
no.
loves horses.
Yeah, it's true. She does like horses. Obviously, our side
Is that your
quest,
game?
our side quest is going to be a blind ranking thing. But before we get into that side quest, I mean, when you think about, you don't need to list out, just off the top of your head in no particular order. When you think of old or new, what are some of your just favorite anime? And you can rattle off as many as you want. I mean, we're not doing the ranking thing. Just in general, when you think anime, What are some of your favorites?
Naruto for sure. Solo Leveling for sure. Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's another.
Yeah,
one.
it's got to be ALT, Demon Slayer, One Piece.
Wayne is Scott's seen it, but Wayne is the only one that'll put the time currently at this table that hasn't already seen it to watch all of One Piece.
It's really good.
I have commitment issues.
The problem isn't that, man. The problem is like, and I've even had this conversation with you. There's a lot of filler in One Piece.
Yeah, but they've got websites that tell you what episodes to skip.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You can
They
skip
did that with
half the
Naruto.
episodes.
Well, there's a guy who cuts all the filler out. Like, he's downloaded everything. He's snipped it. Even the fight scenes, like, if they're pointless and it's just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. It's just him slipping back and forth. Cuts all that out and just puts in the main stuff.
So,
And
I
side
think he
note,
cut, like,
I
2
saw a
years of
report.
walking off.
I saw a report not too long ago. The people who made Attack on Titan are
Yeah.
supposed to be remaking One Piece with their animation,
I saw something about that.
and it's
That
supposed
would
to
be
cut
cool.
out the filler.
Well, the other thing I saw is that outfit, Mappa, I think, they just signed a deal with Netflix to develop like exclusive anime, and it's the folks that did the animation for Attack on Titan
that's the thing, though. If they do that, that'll be like we were talking about Full Metal earlier.
that I need to watch. Yeah,
I've never watched it either.
Isn't that what Full Metal and the original FMA and then FMA Brotherhood basically did that and then fixed the story, correct?
Yeah.
Like that's literally a cut filler out and fix the story. Like
Yeah.
You've got two camps on that, though. You got people that say Brotherhood. You got people that say the original.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those
so
things like...
so we've got Wayne's, we've got mine. I mean, I know
Well, mine very specifically has to be the Cartoon Network Toonami aired U.S. broadcast version of DBZ with the Bruce Faulkner music.
it's all
I have to be
music.
specific because if I say Dragon Ball Z, they're going to say, "Oh, you mean
But
Kai?"
if
No,
you put,
trash.
I will say
But-
that Dragon Ball in
trash.
general, like
Yeah.
in general though,
Yeah.
it it's good. Like Super, I know you've seen Super, right?
Yeah, I watched all of Super. I haven't watched nothing past Tournament of Power.
Yeah, if I want to separate and identify Dragon Ball and its separate thing, Dragon Ball Z is peak for me, but then Attack on Titan without a doubt, and then really after that for me, I've got the modern lens because I did enjoy Solo Leveling. I love Demon Slayer.
Kaiju's another one. Kaiju number 8.
Yeah,
Kaiju
I
number
know. I
8's
need to give it.
fantastic.
I need to go back and give it.
Yeah, but there's a lot. Like Hunter x Hunter's good.
I need to watch
Sword
that
Art
one.
Online's good.
I did like SAO.
SAO's good.
Well, see,
yeah.
Howie and I had and then Howie, we'll get yours because you're the anime.
Yeah, that's
why.
why Scott's going last because
He's gonna pick
Scott's gonna
Zoids.
have-
No, yeah, probably.
We were talking about
Zoids was crap.
No joke.
No,
Like,
No
Zoids
joke.
was so good.
Right before you walked downstairs today, we were talking about Zoids.
no.
Zoids is cracked.
Well, the thing is, we had when I lived with Howie, we for about 5 years or 6 years, we had like this tradition on Christmas Eve. Howie would introduce me to an anime. And there were some he introduced me to that I wasn't keen on. Tokyo Ghoul I wasn't a fan of. Fairy Tail wasn't a fan of. But the first year we did this, he put on Attack on Titan. The only thing that was out was the first 2 seasons. We were up
First
all
season.
night and watched the entire first season
I'm
and the
not
entire
going
second.
to
No,
deny.
yeah, the third season without
Well,
you didn't have the third season.
So
yet.
it wasn't even that. They do it in 2 parts. You
That's
had
right.
Part
At
one
this
and
was
season
this
one.
was this
That's
when
right.
y'all were still living up there?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
And we were in the computer room. I had the first part of season 1. He started watching. He's like, man, I don't know. We got all the way through it. He
I
was
said
like,
I don't
"Man."
know like 15 minutes into the episode. By
Well,
the end of the first episode, I was
Yeah.
hooked.
And then I was like, just give it to the end of the episode. He's like, okay. Well, then we were like, well, we got to go to bed. We end up finishing that whole Blu-ray. He looks up that night who had part 2. Best Buy had it. We went out, got it at Best Buy. Second day, watched the whole part 2.
Yeah, I mean,
He was hooked.
ALT, I will say ALT is one. It's fantastic.
Which you talk about the characters and how much you love you connect with them,
the
right?
development and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I'm on the other side. I find one character that I can't stand, and I hope they
And
die.
you just, Joffrey.
Like I'm telling you,
No.
from the first episode of ALT, I wanted Armin to die. I hated him, Armin.
very nice.
Okay, listen
I
to me.
hated
Listen to me.
Armin.
And I thought, and you know he's serious about this. Like, he does mean this. And I was there whenever they were watching this.
He was there when I watched the first episode, and he started talking. I said, I hope they kill him so fast.
It's so hateful, so hateful.
When something gets on my nerves, I want it out.
No, that's
Get
fine.
it out.
That's fine. So Howie, being the anime goat, like what are the ones that rattle in your head? Again, we're not going in order. Just some
Just
of your
like
tops.
favorites?
Yeah, old, new, doesn't matter.
Obviously, like he was saying, Zoids, Gundam, Zatch Bell.
Now, which
Road
Gundam though?
Warriors.
There's so many.
Well, Wing, G. You can't really go wrong with any Gundams except for probably Gux.
Is the new one any good? I have a buddy that watches it. Was it
People are
Seed?
saying it's good. I don't know.
No, Seed's definitely not.
Seed's
No.
alright.
What's the one,
unless
what's
they
the
did
one
a
that
new
just
one.
came out?
Gux.
Is it
Sure it's
Gux?
Gux. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say Wing's my go-to Gundam, but I enjoyed Unicorn when Unicorn came out.
Dude.
But there's a bunch on Netflix that were exclusive to Netflix. I haven't watched
I will
yet,
tell you
that
that-
apparently are really good.
Scott brought up Flame of Recca whenever we were talking earlier.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that because,
Yeah.
but I do remember because you had the books. I just started reading them.
Well,
Or something.
well, there's that Digimon fighting Foodons.
Digimon was one. The original Digimon. I watched that. I
All
remember
the
watching
different
it.
card games, because I'm sure y'all don't even remember, but I used to play Master Duel, and it was a show.
Wasn't that like a spinoff of Digimon?
No, Master Duel was a card game.
I can see that in my head, but I don't know what it is.
'Cause
Metabots.
It even had a game.
You know Metabots?
That I played.
yeah.
Metabots was a good one.
Yeah. Well, I really think that this kind of brings us to the end of our
As a
story, mode.
yeah.
Card captors.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, we could keep going for another
That was a great
50
one.
minutes probably on this. But let's go ahead and pivot over to our first side quest, which is now loading. All right, so in now loading, this is the game style one that I notoriously screw up. But this time, I think we've done enough careful planning that it should go okay. I don't think I'm going to break anything this time. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table, and we are going to ask the other to blindly rank 5 anime. So we're going to provide a list of 5. We're just going to say a name, and you have to put it 1 through 5, and then we're going to talk about what your list
So-
is.
I feel like
how
my
this-
list is gonna be so wrong
No,
by the time
so-
I hear all 5 of them.
this is what we're doing. So I'm gonna do Wayne because I know more of what he's seen. Wayne is doing Scott because Scott's seen so many. Wayne could just pick 5 random ones.
Yeah, I think that's what he did. He literally just looked up random anime and just picked them, right?
No, I found 5.
Oh, a little bit of strategy?
yeah, a
Okay,
little
all
bit.
right, all right.
I
And
picked
then-
some that I know,
And then Scott's doing Chase,
And then I'm doing Austin.
and then Chase is doing me.
So,
So we'll start with what we'll do first is I'll go ahead and do Wayne's, and then
Okay.
we'll go because
Oh, boy.
it's really just kind of going.
yeah,
Oh,
that'll
boy.
work. That'll work.
All right.
So he's going to read one off, and you have to put it in a number. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yep, I follow rules.
Oh, man, I'm not that bad.
we're gonna start with Pokemon.
So, are we going just the show?
Just the show.
It's 5.
Oh, we're
Wow.
really curious about movies.
Fi-
No, he was
One-
more because games. Are
Oh,
what-
games, yeah.
Just so you know, 1 is the best. 5, okay, I'm just making sure.
I mean, we got a 10-year-old for 15 years.
Well, that is true. That is true.
That
It's
is,
so
hey,
weird they're finally
just so you
knocking
know,
him
he
off.
won the championship of it.
Finally,
I know. In that clip I saw, I
I-
didn't
All right,
watch it
so
live, but I saw it.
all right, so your number 5 is Pokemon.
yeah,
Demon Slayer.
I would put it at 2.
That's pretty good.
I just seen your hands instantly go up.
Because I'm hoping ALT's on this list, and that's number 1.
Pokemon 5, Demon Slayer 2.
Naruto.
It's either 3 or 4.
He's saving the one hoping that I give it, but he doesn't know
Even
what I
if
have
it's
on the
not on
list.
there, I don't care. I think I'm going 4.
So wait, what numbers do you have left?
Hang on,
One and three.
wait. Is it like Naruto, Shippuden, or Boruto?
I think he's
No,
on
it's
all of
Naruto,
Naruto.
Shippuden. It's Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, like that.
Oh, he combining them on you.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
not
just saying
Boruto.
No.
Well, 3.
Boruto's its own show. You can't
All right, so
combine that
2
with
Demon Slayer, 3 Naruto, 5 Pokemon.
One Piece.
Ooh, that
So
one's
one,
fine.
1 or 4.
I'll put it at 4.
Okay.
All right. So his last one has to be his number 1.
ALT.
Okay. All right. So that lines up pretty good. So Wayne.
If I was gonna put them in order,
Yeah, that
it
would
would
be
be ALT, Demon Slayer, One Piece, Naruto, Pokemon.
Okay. So you pretty much got it. You just had One Piece and Naruto mixed up.
Well, I had Dragon Ball in there, but I forgot that he'd watched a lot of ALT. So, but I was hoping that he would put One Piece at 1.
And then be upset that
Yeah.
you had to put AOT at 4. All right.
All right, Wayne. So
You want me to do Scott's?
yeah, do Scott's.
Okay.
God.
All right.
No, they're not bad. They're not bad.
I assume they wouldn't be bad because you don't know any of the bad
Obscure
anime.
ones.
It's okay. I got Bleach.
Ooh.
We're gonna start with a heavy hitter here.
One of the OG Big 3.
We'll go with 4 with that one.
Ooh. Okay.
He's nervous.
I can tell.
Hakusho.
3.
Whoa!
All right. So Yu Yu Hakusho at 3, Bleach at 4.
Yeah.
Death Note.
5.
Death Note at 5.
So he left 1 and 2.
Hey,
So we'll see what he's
anybody
on.
that's watching that could get mad at me. That show's so trash. to me.
Yeah, that's one that you thought about having me try and said, "No, I don't even like it." So
Yeah, I think I watched the first like 10 or 15 episodes and I was done.
Yeah.
All right, we got 1 and 2
Wait,
left.
so what's
Howie.
1 and 2?
Sailor Moon.
The look that Howie just gave us.
No, I can't rate that low.
Well, you only got 1 and 2.
I know,
One and
but there's a low one in there.
He doesn't want you to give something better than Sailor Moon for 1.
1 or 2, Howie.
2.
Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. So Gundam Wing,
I
Sailor
never betrayed
Moon.
Gundam.
All right. So
What was it? Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon,
Gundam
Three
Wing,
was Yu
Sailor
Yu.
Moon,
Yu Yu Hakusho,
Bleach, and
Death Note.
something that
And
fell
Death
on
Note.
the list we don't remember. What
so now that we did the blind ranking, what is your, like we did with Wayne, what is your real ranking?
Is that where you put them all?
Would that be
Of
like that?
all those 5?
Yeah.
It's probably pretty
Wing would
close.
go first. I would honestly probably put Yu Yu second.
Then Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon third, Bleach fourth, because Bleach is really good, but story wise and everything, like I love the anime. It's got great fighting, but it's up there with everything else. And I think just Sailor Moon being older and just
Kind of a catalyst.
more of my kid, yeah,
You got the nostalgia lens like I did.
yeah.
See, I've never watched Bleach. Never watched
Like
a
I
day in
said,
my
we were
life.
talking about that. I've been wanting to. I've said I was going to watch it. 'Cause
It's
I've heard.
honestly one that you would like.
Yeah.
I think my next one's JJK.
Yeah, I tried that. I couldn't get into it.
Wayne's also like, I feel like Wayne's very big on like One Piece is the only one that I've seen him mix it in, but for the most part, if he starts an anime, he finishes that anime before he starts it.
Right. Yeah, that's how
One Piece is the only one. Sometimes you watch so many, you got to take a break for like a month or two because there's so many episodes.
Yeah,
you got to stop and watch something else.
Well, we had this conversation earlier. My old ass these days, I can't remember anything. Like, I love Solo Leveling, but I would have to look up a recap of 1 and 2 before the next season comes out. Anyway, so am I doing you next,
Yeah.
Austin? All right. So we're gonna start with a banger, and we're gonna go. Now, I did separate these. Naruto Shippuden.
1.
Okay, put Naruto right at number 1.
I've made it known multiple times.
Yes, I know. Let's go Solo Leveling.
2.
Okay.
I've made it very known that's my 1, 2 in real life. So like,
I could probably look at those.
We're gonna
people
go
where he's
old
gonna
school
put 'em in.
on you and go with Mare.
5. I don't even know what that one is.
See, you said he might remember. He might not remember.
Does. He didn't even remember the one he loved, Flame of Recca.
That's true.
He
What is this
read
one?
Mare at the same time. If I show him a picture,
He'll be
I
like,
guarantee
"Oh,
he'll
hold
be
up.
like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, pull
Hold
it up
up.
while we're going through. All right, so we've got Naruto, we've got Solo
You borrowed
Leveling,
books from me.
JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I know. What could you put, and am I gonna like it more than JJK? I'm gonna take the chance and put it at 4.
Okay. Let's see if he knows this one.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I really don't remember that.
because you watched the anime with me too.
I mean, I probably did, but I don't remember it.
Because you.
I shouldn't have gone with the one Howie gave me.
No, he started Flame of Recca because he read this.
All right, but what was the
All
last
right, so you've got 1 Naruto Shippuden,
all
2 Solo Leveling, your 3 is open, 4 was JJK,
5
was
Mare, because I don't.
Mare, because you don't know. I'm going to give you 2 more since you don't know what Mare
All right, we'll
is.
take Mare off.
All right. Demon Slayer,
3 or 5. 3 or 5.
3 or 5.
I can't put
And
it.
it's not 5.
I can't put it at 5. I couldn't do it.
So you're going to put it at 3?
Yeah.
Kaiju number 8.
Ooh, that hurt.
So
Never seen it, so.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. Hold on.
well, where you wound up...
Well, Kaiju number 8's 5 for you right now.
Yeah, it is 5. But where you wound up was Naruto Shippuden.
Actually, that's my list, except I would switch 4 and 5.
Really? All right, so Solo Leveling was 2.
Yep.
3 was...
Demon Slayer.
4 was JJK, and 5 was Kaiju. You just flipped 4 and 5.
I would flip 4 and 5 because I like Kaiju more than JJK, but I like Demon Slayer more than Kaiju for sure.
Fair enough.
I like, and I Solo Leveling.
I know it's your...
If I could lose that connection like you have to Dragon Ball with that, I would say Solo Leveling might be one of my all-time favorites. Or might be my all-time favorite.
So you should have just gave him both Narutos, original and Shippuden.
Oh, no,
thought
so I'd have
about
dropped.
it.
I'd have
I
dropped.
thought about it.
I'd have dropped. Gotta drop regular Naruto.
I figured. No,
When you tell me Shippuden, like it's my number one.
yeah. All right, Howie, hit me.
Okay.
I feel like he's going to have some kind of curveball in here, but we'll see.
Why would I throw
He was the one who gave me
curveball?
the idea of splitting it earlier, so that's why I think there's a curveball. So go ahead.
Ronin Warriors.
Ronin Warriors, I'm gonna put at because I don't know what you're gonna give me. So we'll go 4 on Ronin Warriors.
Okay. Reboot.
I mean, you could have. I'm putting Reboot at 5. I mean, I like Reboot, but I'm gonna put Reboot at 5.
Okay. Dragon Ball.
Which Dragon Ball?
The one you like.
Oh, so we're talking about Dragon Ball.
Is it
Z.
in
not
the
Kai.
entirety? Is it the entirety of Dragon Ball or just Dragon Ball?
Well, he don't like Kai.
I know, but are we
Yeah,
talking
but I mean-
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball
Like
GT,
which Dragon Ball?
Or is it
Super?
just all of Dragon
If
Ball
you're
combined?
encapsulating all of it minus Kai, then
Dragon Ball.
you have to specify.
No.
I did.
Dragon Ball.
So the whole thing.
No.
No.
Go
Dragon
ahead.
Ball.
No, okay, if you're going Dragon Ball, just OG Dragon Ball, we're going 3.
Okay. 7 Deadly Sins.
Shit. I mean, I'll put it at 2 because I don't know what you're going to have for my number 1.
I wonder what I did have on here.
What's my number 1?
Just say it.
Dragon Ball Z Kai.
You asshole.
Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
He was like,
No. So my list actually winds up pretty good. So Dragon Ball Z, I would not have put 7 Deadly Sins at 2. I would have probably put, what was my number 3?
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, then Ronin Warriors, then Reboot. Honestly, I'd probably go Z. I didn't like OG Dragon Ball that much, to be completely honest. Like, I can
The only
appreciate.
reason I put it on there
Yeah.
is because a lot of people don't even remember that was before Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z.
no, I can appreciate it, but I definitely don't. So Dragon Ball Z, number 1. Ronin Warriors would be my number 2. Dragon Ball would be number 3. 7 Deadly Sins, and Reboot. And I did like 7 Deadly Sins, but the animation and it just got really wonky, and I never finished it. So the fact that I didn't finish it.
I
just
only
wanted to
watched
see
the
where
first
you
season of it.
Reboot, because we always talk about it and bring it up as like a
Obscure
out of thing.
dude.
And I was just like, I wonder
you know
where he
what?
put it.
You know what? Reboot had a PS1 game also.
It did,
That was
yeah.
really cool. I
a
forgot.
bunch
all
of
about
Dude,
that.
like, it's crazy though. Like, if you think about it, if you take Naruto out of mine, all of mine have came out in the last like 3 or 4 years.
But again, the anime is. I mean, old anime is peak too. But anime now, one thing I do love about anime now is they're short, they're condensed. There's no filler. Boom, 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 boom. I appreciate the filler of Dragon Ball Z because I grew up with it. It is hard to watch an old anime with a bunch of filler.
Well,
that's
One
the
Piece is
thing.
like that. You know how many filler
Dude,
is in
that's what I'm
1,000
saying. Like,
episodes of One Piece?
I know there's cool
Like, it's
stuff. I know
insane.
there's cool stuff in One Piece. I'm not denying that.
That's so many episodes.
I've got to.
Well, they just
well,
finished season 1.
This
I
is
know,
the
I
other
heard.
problem too. This is the other problem too.
The whole show's
So
filler.
like, I was watching One Piece. Well, my Crunchyroll is logged in somewhere else, and then I got on there to watch more One Piece, and it was on episode like 700 and something, and I was like,
Well, it's
Yeah,
all
so
on
you-
Netflix now. Like,
you
they've
know how
got
they
all
got
1,000
rid of-
episodes
oh,
on
yeah.
Netflix.
You know why they got rid of filler?
Well, probably because the attention spans of people these days.
Well, no. The boom filler was only in because the artists needed more time to work on the actual story and the actual art.
but they wanted to
filler,
have
did
content.
you ever notice filler didn't have like a bunch of attack scenes? and
No,
a bunch of fighting. It was very easy to draw, very easy to color.
Yeah, I
and
think
then they
about
could
that.
Work on stuff.
Yeah, I think about that with Dragon Ball Z, with like the Gohan training in the forest stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I will say my favorite filler Dragon Ball Z episode is the driver's license.
Like there was a
episode.
Naruto filler of Hinata bathing in a waterfall and Naruto peeping on her. That was a
How
whole episode.
how many times you watch that episode?
It's enough.
Just saying. Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I know
like,
exactly what you're talking about, too.
nowadays.
That's the bad part
the-
because I've seen Naruto and Naruto Shippuden so many times.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you've got, just like y'all were saying, anime's had such a big boom that it's making so much money they can pay enough artists to get this stuff out.
Oh, much
It's a
faster.
team.
as
It's a
possible.
team building it instead
Yeah.
of one person.
True. That's valid.
So,
That's valid.
but that's going to be our first side quest
Yes,
today.
side quest now loading is now done. Now we're going to jump into our next side quest, which is really just Howie and I chatting about the Dragon Ball event from this past weekend. So we are going to pivot over to our next side quest, which is going to be titled Next Gen. All right, so we're going to get into our Next Gen segment where we're going to talk about the Dragon Ball pop-up tour that was this past weekend in Chicago. Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, to be specific. Now, when we initially recorded, the intention was that Howie and I, who went to the event, were going to do this little segment together. But the excitement got the best of us, and we wound up not taking the time to do this recording in the hotel or even in the car ride back, since it's about a 5.5 hour drive. So this will probably be a quick little rundown segment, really just to talk about how the event went. So if you're not familiar, first off, if you just go to Google or the official Dragon Ball website, you can look up the pop-up tour information. They did Chicago. They're going to be doing Jersey, Florida, Texas, and California. So they're not doing very many of these. But when we saw Chicago and it was 5 hours away, it's like, of course, we're going to have to give it a shot. Now, we've done several posts and TikToks about this so far to kind of highlight what the event was going to be. And then we've done several videos from the event and even after the event a little bit. But so it was going to be starting, it was like from 10 to 8. And we were going to be getting in town at around 9. And that was the thought process. Most malls, at least in the Louisville area, will open up at 9 for walkers. And then the actual mall and everything starts at 10. So we figured we'd get up there at 9. We go ahead and get in line. And I will say, they had 2 different areas of the mall. Anyone familiar with the Chicago area and the Woodfield Mall, the center court is where everything was. And then there was a Prismark court where they had the card game, Sparking Zero, the model kit building. They had a lot of different events that you could do. We actually wound up in the wrong line with the model kit first. And then they told us, hey, this is the line for the model kit. If you want to get in line for the main thing, it's down at center court. Well, that line we start following, and poor Howie, man, he was so upset as we're walking, because our big thing was getting the freebies, the energy markers. Honestly, we weren't really there to purchase a lot of product. If it was an option, then totally would have, but our main thing was the freebies, the experience, the energy markers. This line just kept going and going and going, and he said, man, we're going to wind up outside. I said, no, we're not going to wind up outside. But ironically enough, we cut the corner, and he's like, hey, it looks like a door. And sure enough, we go outside, halfway around the building past Penny's. And we were there for about an hour before they started explaining there were 2 different lines. The line we were in was for the retail line, like solely for purchases. We wanted to be in the line to get the bag and all that, which was starting at 11:30. So, we got in line about 9:45, so it's probably about 10:45 or so, and they tell us that. So we go get in the bag line, much shorter. And we're able to get through the line, get our bag, go through the actual experience itself. And if you haven't seen the videos on our TikTok, check it out. They had really cool statues, like full-size statues to take photos with. They had this cool, like, Super Saiyan power-up thing with blowing air at you. It was really cool. They had a Nimbus you could ride. Not a ride, but like for a photo op. Bunches of cases full of cards and toys and other displays. And then they had a gacha area where you had to pay like $3 per coin. We did a lot of gachas. The lady got to the point where she laughed every time we came up to get more coins, to get more of the gachas. And then we did go play Sparking Zero. The lines at that point were really getting real squirrely as far as really long is concerned. But we were able to get lined up for the second bag giveaway, which was at 3:30. But the retail line was so insane. Just for perspective, when we got out of line at 9:45, there were some people we had talked to like in front of us. And when we were in the second bag line that was going to open at 3:30, so it was about 3 o'clock, we looked over and we saw the person who we were behind. So it had been like 5 hours. And they were inside at this point, but they probably still had another hour, hour and a half. So it was absolutely insane. The staff people that were there all said that they did not expect it to be as crazy as it was. I will say I tried to get a jacket from some of the staff people. It's like, hey, can I buy your jacket? But they actually had to return the jackets. Like they didn't get to keep them or anything. But it was really cool. Like the experience was a really good time. And the stuff that we did that basically was free, minus, us buying gachas and other things, was a blast. And we did think to ourselves for the second day, and that's the other thing, actually, about the product. They had boards up to talk about, like, when things were selling out. And they sold out really fast. Like, the manga boosters, because they were selling some Fusion World cards, the manga boosters sold out first. And then the Band Presto exclusives, the statues, those sold out. But the one that everybody was really wanting, that's the figure arts Super Saiyan Goku, the manga version with the white hair and all that.
Fortunately, it seemed like people were able to get that. Like there were people who posted they were in line for 7 hours and still got that one. And they did restock each day. They had mentioned they had enough stock. They had stock for each day, and then they would restock for the next day. So we did plan on getting there a little earlier on Saturday. We're like, okay, we'll get there 8 o'clock in the morning. Instead, well, when we got there, the mall was open, in fact, and the line was already insane. It wasn't outside yet, but it was insane. And we were like, no, let's go ahead and get another energy marker, which we ended up getting. Howie got the gold Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, was his first one. And then he actually wound up getting another Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well. Like not the gold one, but a regular one. I got the Beast Gohan and the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. That was all on Friday. But then on Saturday, we got in line for the bag again because the retail line we knew was going to be nuts. And we wanted to try and be on the road by about noon or 12:30. And the bag line was going to open at 11:30. And it was a good call because where the line was when we first got there, we didn't even see the people toward the front at all by the time we were ready to leave. So it wouldn't have been worth it for us to do that. But we did go through the bag line again. And then I got another Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta energy marker. And then Howie pulled a gold UI Goku. So Howie had some really good luck with his energy markers for sure. But it was, and then we walked through. We went back to the gachas, which was hysterical because the lady from the day before recognized us because we did it so many times. And it was hysterical. And the thing is, like, we weren't doing these to get stuff to sell or anything. Like, we ended up going to our local comic book store and the shop we play games at when we got back in town and gave away, a bunch of stuff that we ended up getting, the gachas, the bags, and different things. But it was really cool. It was a great experience. If you have the luxury of being close enough to one, and whether you want the experience or if you want some of the merch, like that's the other thing. If you want some of the merch, that's fine too. But you got to get there like 3 a.m. because we did talk to people who literally were lining up at 3 a.m. We found out later that on Friday they opened the doors at 7. So they did open them like much earlier than I expected. But then they did end up opening them up at 6 on Saturday. So who knows what they did on Sunday. But it was a really cool experience. If you're close enough to one, I highly recommend it. It just, for any Dragon Ball fan, it was so cool. Even just for the freebies. But, if you are that dedicated person to get there at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, a lot of the product was amazing. Those Banpresto statues that are the 40th anniversary are amazing. That Super Saiyan manga Goku, it was also really great, but it was really cool. And anything with Dragon Ball related, or frankly any con for that matter, I feel I hate crowds in general. So when you look at the videos we posted and how many people there were, you think I'd be melting down for how many people. And I've had this discussion with people in the past. I don't like crowds, but you put me at a con or something like this where literally everyone is of like shared interest. I mean, we talked to so many people that just ended up having conversations and nothing like we made friends per se or anything. Just great discussion about Dragon Ball and about everything like that. And, it was a great time. Ultimately, if you're close enough to one, check it out. You don't have to get there at 3 a.m. if you don't want the product, but if you do want the product, you're going to have to get there super early. But it was definitely something that I'm really glad that we got to do. Normally, being where we're at in Louisville, we don't get, obviously, those kinds of things, super close or anything where I miss out on them. And the fact it was Chicago, 5 hours away, that wasn't bad. It was a great time. And if you haven't, seen the video content of it, we didn't do any full-length videos. I was gonna try and do like some of the interview content and things like that during the event. You've seen those videos on TikTok, but I don't just do well just walking up to random people. I don't want to inconvenience people if I don't have to and things. But we gave out some of the midnight release stickers and things to people we had conversations with. But we do have some videos posted on TikTok from the event and different things like that. So definitely check it out. And yeah, it was a great time. Really glad that we went. And with all that being said, this was going to be a segment where Howie and I were going to talk about it together. Probably would have been a little longer, but since it's just me yakking, we're going to go ahead and pivot back to the episode so that we can get into our save point.
Party time. All 4 of us sitting here.
Another good episode.
A lot of yakking. Hey, no aggression really today, though. Like, no.
Well, this is Yeah, but I know he's going to be on next week.
I'm not trying to imply you all were aggressive the last time, but I feel like y'all gave me a lot of shit last
They're
time.
going to be on next week, and next week is more very
Oh, yeah.
opinionated.
Yeah.
Next week we got some opinions flying, buddy.
No,
Next week is a very opinionated episode.
No, so yeah, next week's episode is going to be called Icons Never Fade. Now it's game centric, so we are focusing on gaming icons, but we are going to have a side quest that pivots into not just gaming icons, but also like movie icons and things. That'll be part of the side quest.
Yeah,
next
there's a
week.
specific movie actor argument that
Yeah.
needs to be had.
Yeah,
Ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, bring your popcorn.
Because this is an argument that we have had in the group chat that we were going to bring to the podcast.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a longer side quest than normal because usually our side quests are 10 to 15 minutes. I feel like it might go longer. But anyway, the overall story mode next week will be game-centric, talking about game icons. That alone could be a hot topic. But, we say this every time. Thank you all very much for hanging out and listening to us yak. This time you got 4 of us instead of 2 of us. And, always remember to like, follow, subscribe,
And
all
again,
those things.
like we always say, we appreciate y'all listening every week. We appreciate your feedback, everything that we get. Please continue to do that so we can keep getting more and more traction, and then at least also get out what you all want to listen to.
Exactly. We're to that point where this was episode 15, so we've got a lot of episodes behind us, a lot of different content that we've covered.
We got the half episodes coming out now.
Yes, the .5s are also coming out as video content, so definitely be sure and check those out. I forgot to mention the email, the midnightreleasepod@gmail.com. We also have now kind of expanded in the sense, diversify. So we're on Instagram now. On YouTube is where you can find the .5 episodes that are coming out. So be sure to check those out as well. We did also just start a Discord server recently, and that was part of the giveaway that we were opting to do for the Dragon Ball event this past weekend. But definitely check that out. And again, we want to hear from you all as far as different topics. That if there's things we haven't touched on, or if we did briefly, but we need to dive a little deeper.
Yeah, and that's something like on the Discord too, just a side note. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can tag one of us 4 on the Discord because we're the ones going to kind of be moderating it, things like that. So just tag one of us 4. One of us 4 we'll get back to you as soon as we can. If you just tag just at the midnight release, one of us 4 will see it. And
Exactly,
be able to go through
100%. So thank you all again. Howie, Wayne, anything you want to say to sign off?
Not today.
Saving it for next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you need to try to watch Life of an MMO Junkie, though.
Life of an MMO Junkie. Was this like, Cartman from South Park basically sitting in front playing WoW? Is that what we're talking about?
No, it's a woman that doesn't want to work, so she stays home and plays MMOs all day.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That sounds okay. Also, I will go ahead and add the shameless plug for Howie's sake. This came up in episode 5. I just want to make sure folks know. Animetal Crafts on Instagram and on TikTok is where you can find Howie. Howie makes things that are metal and vinyl. Is vinyl the other material that you've been doing here lately?
PVC. Well,
PVC
everything now.
Yeah. So does printing of pretty much anything you can think of. You can check out Animetal Crafts on Etsy, on TikTok, on Instagram. Check the stuff out because you can get some really, really cool things made. Not just like very basic things, but custom things too. So keep that in mind. But other than that, thank you all for hanging out and listening. And remember that some memories are worth lining up for.